Hello, guys. Hope you are well and doing great. Uh, Today, I will cover these topics of Python. Before going into detail of these topics, I want to request you once again that a very few students they have subscribed my channel so far. I want that you all student needs to subscribe my channel. Uh, the reason why I'm saying to you guys again and again uh, because it will be hard in future for me to give you the links of each and every lecture. So what I have planned that I will deliver the lecture and those lectures will be available to you on my channel. And if you will be a subscriber on my channel, as soon as I will record my lecture, it will be available to you. So that's why I requested you many times. So again, I would like to request you that please subscribe my channel. Okay, thank you very much. So today we will cover floor division and modulus, Boolean expressions, chain conditionals, nested conditional, recursion, and keyboard input. Okay, guys, floor division and modulus. So if I want to remind your mind that uh, because if you remember that in your prep classes you are already familiar with the process of division. So if you see this example, so here we want to divide 25 by 2. So 25 in this scenario is called dividend, while 2 is actually divisor, and 12 is the quotient, while 1 is the remainder. So in Python not only provide this division, but also in Python we can take the remainder through modulus function. We will talk later. And then floor division is a type of division, but it is different than the normal division. Okay. So just see this, that for example, the syntax of floor division is A, 2 forward slash and B. So A could be any value and B could be any value. And if you see this example, so here, for example, we have seen that 5 is divided by 2. So this is the normal division in Python. And if you see this normal division, so here you can see the quotient, see 2.5. And the this example, it is actually the floor division example. And if you see here, the answer is different. The reason is that the floor division just you can say round the value which is lesser than 2.5. Likewise, here if you see if the value is minus, so if you will see that here it is rounded to minus 18. And if you remember, if you do the normal floor and the value means if we are doing flooring for plus value, so it is 17. But if we are doing minus 35, so it will be minus 18. Minus 18. The reason behind is that you guys know that the minus 1 is greater value than minus 2, like minus 2 is greater than minus 3. Likewise, minus 17, in this case, minus 17 is greater than minus 18. So this is the reason. And if you compare these two answers, so there is a difference. 2 is less than 2.5. So this is actually the whole phenomena that where we can use the floor division. Okay. For modulus function, very simple. If you want remainder from any of the division, so you need to use modulus operator. Modulus operator syntax is very simple, that we can use percent sign, and through by using percent sign, we can easily get the remainder. Okay, guys. Now Boolean expression. To explain Boolean expression, I will just I just want to remind you that in Boolean expression we are dealing with true or false. So I will show you a truth table. So in this table you can see that true is a condition and true is a condition, while and this is actually the logical operator. So and or not, these are the logical operators, like NAND is also a logical operators. So logical operator and we use in with some expressions or with some conditions, and we can get result true in case of if both conditions or both expressions are true, while we can get false statement if any of the one condition is false. So guys, normally sometimes we also say that and logical operator is just like a multiplication operator. So if we replace multiplication with and here if we put instead of true we put one condition, means one value, and here we replace false with 0. So 1 multiplied by 1, the answer is 1. 1 multiplied by 0, the answer is 0. 0 multiplied 1, answer is 0. And 0 multiplied by 0, the answer is 0. Okay. So now we will see another logical operator, and that is the OR operator. So in OR operator, the situation is totally different. In OR operator, if any of if any of the condition is true, so we will get true result. So we can get only the false result in the case where both situations, means both conditions are false. While in NAND operate or not operator, so if you precede, if you are any expression preceding with not, so you will get the false result. And if sorry, if it is preceding with true, so you will get the false result, and if it is preceding with false, you can get the true result. Okay guys, so this is the concept, and we are using so frequently when actually we are using many conditions. So now I will show you an example here. So look, this is an example. In this example, what is there, that we have four variables and we have assigned some values to these variables. Now we have given a condition that if a variable, or means if a variable value is equal to b variable value, and c variable value is equal to d variable value, so then we need to print this value, that this message, hello a, b and c, d are equal. Okay, now we will visit these two conditions with the truth table. So if we see this expression, a is equal to b, so a value is 2, b value is 2, so this condition is true, so this is true. Okay, and now we will see the second condition, c is equal to d, so c is 5, d is 5, so it means that if both conditions are true, what will be the answer? True. It means that if we will run this program or this code, so it will display hello a, b and c, d are equal. Okay, so this is the answer. But what if we will make false, and or we will use or, so what will happen, or we change the value. Okay, so we will go to a new file, and here if I write, just for instance, a is equal to 10. Oh, this is kept. Okay, a is equal to 10, for instance, b is equal to 10, c is equal to 5, d is equal to 5. Okay, so here what I do, that I'm just repeating the same statement so that we can change later. A is equal to b, and operator or logical operator, and c is equal to d. Then what you need to do, print hello. Okay, the values of a, b and c, d are equal. Okay guys, okay, now we will save it. Okay, we will save it. For example, try1 2 3, and okay, now we will run it and see. Yep, hello values of abc. Okay, now what we will do, we will have a change, like for instance, so I will say or, and then I will change here 6. Now you can see that c value is different than d value, but still what will happen, still this statement will be executed. Why? The reason is that because in OR operator, one condition must be true. So this condition is true while this condition is false. Okay. So I will save it and then I will run it and see. See guys, same, this value has been executed. Okay. Now what I will do, I just use AND operator again and see its result. Now this statement shouldn't be run. Okay, we will see how it goes. See, no answer. The reason is that in our AND operator, logical operator, both condition must be true. But in this case, this condition is false. C is not equal to D. Okay, guys. Now we just go back to our lecture. And that is the Boolean expression. Okay. I hope now you understand it. Okay. Chained conditional. What is chained conditional? First, we need to understand it, and then we will see the example. So chained conditional means that you have multiple if statements. Okay? You have multiple if statement. For example, if you see this as this situation here, so there is a decision that if, for example, is x is less than y, yes, then do this. If x is greater than y, then do this. And you can use multiple conditions. So that is called chained conditionals, means there are multiple conditions or statements, conditional statements, which you can use in your program. Okay, now we will see this example. For instance, we have declared two variables, x is equal to 2, y is equal to 4. So what we are doing, if x is less than y, x is less than y, else if x is greater than y, print x is greater than y, else print x and y must be equal. So when we will run it, sorry, so when we will run it, so what answer we will get? So we will see x, we will test it, x is 2 and y is 4. So x is less than y, so this value will be executed. Okay, and if I swap this value with 4, 2, so y is 2 and x is 4, then this value will be executed. And for instance, if these both values, if those values, neither they are small, neither x value is greater nor small, then this statement will be executed. Okay, guys, very simple that you have used multi the statement if else if and else. Nested condition. So so here if we see that, for instance, this is a condition. So you have given the expression here. If that expression is true, then your nested impression will be executed. If this condition will be is false, then nothing will be executed. So if the first expression is true, then your program control will enter into the further nested expression, and then body of the if and body of the nested else if will be executed. Okay, now we will see the example. So see, this is another viewpoint. Like if there is a condition, and if that condition is true, then condition 2 will be executed. And if condition if executes when condition is true, if block is end here, if block is end here, then it's okay. And if you want to use more conditions, so then, so first this condition must be true to enter into your nested. Nested conditional means that if within if, condition within condition. Likewise, if you say nested loop, it means loop within loop. Okay, guys. So now we will see an example here. So see, this is example. So here I have assigned 20 to x value, and this condition will be tested first. And if this condition is true, then what will happen? That our control will be testing this condition. And if this condition is true, then our control is testing this condition. And in case of false, what will happen? That this statement will not be executed and the control will come to the second if statement. And if this condition is true, then this statement will be executed. If not, if both conditions, these both condition will be untrue, if these both condition will be untrue, then this will be executing. Okay. And if you go back to this condition, that in the first statement, if first statement will be true, then the control will be transferred into a nested part or nested block. Now I go back to this example. So see here that for instance, if I change this value, then control will not go there. Okay, what I do, sorry, I just copy this code and just go to my area where I can code it. Okay, so now what I am doing, I am just pasting here. Okay, now I am going to run it and see how it goes. See, it is running. Now what I do, I change this value here and I change it to 10. So now what will happen, because this is a first condition, and if this condition is false, the control will not go inside the nesting. Okay, we will see the result. See, nothing is happened. Nothing happened. Okay, so because first this condition must be true, then so this is the nested. So this is all nested loop, like condition, condition, and this condition is within condition. So these two conditions, they are within condition. So first, this is, you can say, the master door or master key. So if this is true, then your program control will check these statements, these conditions. If it is not true, the control will not come here. Okay, I changed this value again to 10, for instance. And now again, I will just run through and see, look, it is working fine. So this is the objective of this conditional statements, nested statements. So whenever there is a situation where you need to use the first case, like here. Sorry, sorry guys, I'm talking about this one. So this is the first statement or the condition. When we test this condition, if it is true, then the nested part will be executed. If not, then the control will come out from this side. Okay. Now recursion. What is recursion? Very simple. Function defined in terms of itself via self-referential expressions, which means that the function will continue to call itself and repeat its behavior until some condition is met to return a result. Okay. So now it will be more clear when we will talk about a example. Okay. So guys, I think you all are familiar with factorial. So this is the formula for factorial. For example, if you want to get the factorial of, for example, 3, so 3 multiplied by 3 minus 1, bracket close, multiply by 3 minus 2 minus 3. So the so on so forth. So it is starting with less than 1. So n multiply by n minus 1, then n multiply by so on so forth. So this is actually the factorial. Okay. Now what we will do, we have converted this factorial here into the program. So now what a program says, so if you see here that this factorial recursion is a function and this n is a parameter. So we have defined this function and we have we have said that if the value of n is 1, so then you need to return 1 wherever this function will be called. Else, if the value of n is not 1, then what need to do? Return n means whatever the value is, and then this function will be called by itself and subtracted with 1. Subtracted with 1 all the time. And it will keep calling by itself, and then the result will be displayed. Okay. So now what we will do, I just copy its code, go to my program area where I was coding. Yes, here I will just copy this code here, a factorial, and now I will see the result. So guys, first we will do by ourselves what could be the result. So the 3 is value. So according to the formula, 3 multiply 3 minus 1, then multiply. So it is actually what will be the answer? This is 3 and 3 multiplied by 1. So the answer must be, what will be the answer? The answer must be, yes, 6. So we will see this one. So I'm just going to save it and run it and see. Yes, look, the answer is 6. Okay. Now if I just convert it into 1 and I want to see, I pass the value, and here I have given a condition that if n is equal to 1, so there must, so 1 will be returned. Okay. So then nothing is done, means return means that it will return 1 to x, and you will see the print will be x. So now you can see the answer is 1 here. I go back to my example, and if here I just see 8, and I just give 8, and then I saved it, and when I run this, so the answer is 40320. Oh, it is too big. Do you think it is okay? Uh, so we need to see it, why it is so big. Okay, so what I do, I just go back to factorial calculator, and then we will see that whether our answer is right. Factorial calculator, okay, we just give here the suppose we give 8, and then we calculate. Oh, cool, yes, the answer is okay. And then we will check about 3. So what was the answer? Oh, so it means that our program is working fine. So now guys, you can see that the function is being called by itself. See, this is the whole block of the function, but this function is being called by itself. And if we go back to the definition, so you will see the definition says function defined in terms of itself via self-referential expressions means that the function will continue to call itself just like here and repeat its behavior until some condition is met to return a result. And the condition is that there is a factorial formula. Okay, I hope you understand the question. Okay, now keyboard input. So guys, you have been observing, sorry, you have observed that in your program so far, you have used like you have assigned some values to variables, and then you have used those variables value in your program. But just imagine that, for instance, if you want to get the value from the keyboard, and for example, if you want to get the names of the customer or the name of the items from the customers, so then you have to use a keyboard input. That means that how you can get input from your keyboard. Okay. So if you see this example in this case, so for string, so you have used name as a variable, and here means string variable, and here you have used this input is the reserved word in Python, and here you have enter a message to prompt the user. And so when the user will enter the value, this value will be stored in name, and you have printed the, or you want the to display the value which is stored in name. But guys, please remember one thing, that when you are using input, so by default you will get, you will get the value of variable in string. So if you want to use that variable in your calculation, so you need to convert into integer. So in this case, now you can see that because I want to add value into in 10, so that's why what I did, that I converted my input value into integer. And if I will not do it, so then I can get the error. So what I will do, I just copy this code from here and then go to my coding area here. I just paste it. And now guys, here, so now when I run it, first I save it, and then when I run it, so see, you can say please enter the name of customer, and if I enter Tariq, so and then I enter the value is 120, so the answer is 130. Okay, now what I do, that I just remove this because already you know it, and I will elaborate a little more about integer. For instance, if I don't give integer here and I just remove it, so we will see that what it will do. Okay, we make it fresh and then we will run it. Enter the value, I enter 120. See, and what is the error? Line 5, ans 10 plus value, type error, unspotted operand type, integer. See, so it means that when you are using input command, so it by default it store the values as a string, as a string. So if you want to use that variable for your calculation, so you need to use, or you need to convert into integer. So you must write integer, and now when you will run it, so it will give us, see, so this is actually the important important thing to note, that for when you are using input command, so input command in Python will give you the value by default in string, and if you want to use that variable value into your calculations, so then you must convert your string value into integer value. So now we will go back to our lecture and see. Okay, so uh, so this was all about today's lecture. So I am very grateful for you guys for your time and listening me. Thank you very much. Until the next lecture. Bye.